This video is for you if you have a child with cerebral palsy, if you're a parent of any kind, and or if you're an entrepreneur or thinking of becoming one. Hey dear, it's Tanya. Welcome to my channel. Being a parent is quite a challenge, especially if you're trying to juggle parenthood and your professional life. If you missed my 5 practical tips for entrepreneurs, then you can find them here. I'll put the link in the description below as well. Now, if you have a child with cerebral palsy, CP for short, then you have added challenges. And if you're a parent with such a child, then you know how difficult it is to know what's best for them. And oftentimes you don't know what you don't know. Our daughter Sia is now 2.5 years old, and we're still finding things that we can do with her or for her that will improve her abilities. And then eventually, obviously, this is our goal or this is our desire for her. She will be able to live a life independently. In the next few minutes, I will go through 12 different things or activities that we do with Sia. And if you are a parent of a kid who has CP, then these 12 things or ideas will be extremely interesting to you. If you don't have a child with CP, then maybe you know someone else who does, and you can pass this info forward to them. And this is also very interesting if you are a parent to any kind of child and or entrepreneur or thinking of becoming either one of these 2 things. So let's dive in, and at the end I'll tell you why this is super interesting and how business and these activities come together in an interesting way. Alright, so if you see me looking down, this is my little cheat sheet of the 12 activities that we do with her, and let's start with the first and foremost. Actually, I'm gonna say the most important one for her. Sia has dynamic spasticity. Now, you probably will know what this means if you have someone with CP in your life. And basically, physiotherapy is the most important thing for her. We do it, or she does it, every week in the public sector. We go once per week, and she works out for an hour. We are with her so that we can also learn what she's doing. And other days of the week, we do these exercises with her. We encourage her, we guide her, and we're just there to learn it at the same time, of course. That's for the physiotherapy. Now, she also does occupational therapy. Actually, the occupational therapist is in the physio session every second week, and she practices fine motricity with her. It's more like eating with a spoon, for example, and just doing things with her hands, whereas physio is on a bigger level, such as walking, crawling, and these things. We also do private physiotherapy sessions with Sia. It's anywhere between once per week to once every 2 weeks. And we used to do, or she had a therapist that did a method called Padovan before, and now we switched to a different therapist, different method called Medec. Again, all through these sessions, we're there, we're supporting her, encouraging her, rooting for her, obviously, and learning as well what we can do on the days that she doesn't have a therapist working with her directly. Then the next thing that we do with her, actually I did it and I passed the information to my husband as well, is the HANEN program. It's spelled H-A-N-E-N, I'm gonna put it here as well. And it's for parents or also therapists who want to learn how to help their children, their patients, their clients to advance with their language skills. So basically, I learned how to help her develop her language skills. And just recently, yesterday, my husband and I started revising the program, the whole workbook, because it's been now 6 months, and I can see that she already advanced 1 level in her speaking skills. So it's wonderful to see the progress as well. And I learned a lot. So if you're a parent of any kind, buy that book and dive into it. You'll learn a lot and you'll have way more fun with your child. So next thing is another physical thing that we do with her. We started when she turned just 1 year old, so it's been a 1.5 years that we've been doing swimming with her now. And swimming has been such a huge blessing. I actually think she might swim independently before she walks independently, because Sia is like a mermaid, like a fish in the water. Soon, like a few weeks after we started swimming sessions, when she was 1 year old, she finally managed to turn from back to belly, which she hadn't been doing prior to that. So really it boosted her physical abilities. Next thing that we're doing, actually 2 things, I'm gonna mention them together, are chiropractor sessions and acupuncture. I don't do this regularly for her. She doesn't need. We did it sometimes, like at the beginning, we did it more often, especially chiro sessions. And now we do it once every maybe 3 to 6 months. I would say once per season that I go with her. And acupuncture, I think I did twice with her so far, and she's less afraid than me. She doesn't feel anything, it just does her good. And the acupuncturist I go to regularly, she's such a sunshine with good energy, and I just want her, Sia, to be kind of like, to bathe in her energy. That's why I bring her there. And of course it helps her as well. Next thing is something that you may or may not have heard of. It's called hyperbaric chamber therapy. It's pressurized oxygen therapy that helps brain cells that might have missed oxygen at birth or shortly after to be properly oxygenated. It's like a push in the brain cells so that these brain cells, activate and start helping you to do different things, from physical activities to mental, such as speaking, understanding, and we have done this twice so far. Once was for 2 months. Usually you do it for 1 or 2 months. It's like a protocol, and then you have to have at least 1 or 2 months of a break to give the body the time to absorb and go through the good effects, and just rest as well, rest and relax before you pick it up again. We're almost there. Number 9 is something that we recently started, I would say maybe 6 weeks ago. Horseback riding, which is not just for fun, it's an actual therapy. Sia works out so much that she's all sweaty as well. On the horse, it's working out her core, her stability, the general balancing, and also just like the motion. When you're on the horse, the way you move on the horse, it imitates how you would move when you're walking. So she's not walking yet, but she's learning that through horseback riding therapy as well. And she's a champion. Next is speech therapy. I could have said it earlier when I was talking about Hanan program. Speech therapy, we only had the speech therapist see her twice so far. Once it was early spring, and then the second time was last week or 2 weeks ago. We haven't officially started regular speech therapy with her yet because she's not at that level, but coming soon as well. And then the next thing are actually 2 things I want to mention. We are doing as much as possible every day. Well, on the days when she has swimming and physio and horseback riding, we don't do it, but whenever we can, we do walking with her with a walker. It's a special walker for her that helps her. Well, as you can see in the video here, she's becoming better and better, and she can go up to 50 minutes, 50. That's huge. That's like a full marathon for an adult. I'm super proud of her. I know either way, she's already an athlete, and really, I'm proud of you, Sia. And then every day, that rarely has an exception that we don't put her on a standing board. So when she goes to daycare, she is standing on the standing board there as well, somewhere between 30 and 60 minutes every day, because that helps her to keep, actually to develop or strengthen the bone mass. And also for the digestive system, it's good to be straight at least a little bit during the day. On top of the walking, there's a standing board that's helping her to achieve this goal. Finally, Sia has been having leg braces since the beginning of this year, so about 10 months. We saw physiatrist, like that's a doctor for physio, that's not a physiotherapist, but physiatrist, something like that in English, 3 times so far, so that she can see whether her legs are developing properly, whether she has what type of spasticity, so like basically how she is stiff. And it's been improving as well, and the leg braces are helping her legs, her feet to develop in a proper way, especially the bones of the ankle bones. Very promising. Last but not least, glasses. We go to an ophthalmologist every couple of months to check her vision. Her vision is excellent, 12 on 12. That's how they measure for kids. The exercises to see whether kids see properly are really interesting, but anyway. The only thing that she has is strabism, so kind of lazy eyes, sometimes cross-eyed vision, and we are repairing that with patches, with alternating eye patches, and she has glasses, not for vision, for actual strabism only. And one thing that I forgot to mention just before when I was talking about leg braces, we do flexibility training with her every day, so we stretch her so that she is less spastic. And I'm gonna correct myself, I think these were 13 or 14 points or activities altogether, but here they are. As you can see, that's quite a handful of things we do with her every day. We have a tracker where we check every time we do an activity so that we don't forget something. And of course, not every day we will do all of these, because obviously she only has that many hours in a day, and we do as well. But these are all the things that we do regularly, more or less. And we're happy to do this. I'm super happy to do this. Not complaining at all, because she's my daughter and I love her from the bottom of my heart. And I also absolutely know that I wouldn't have been able to do this, and my husband neither, if we weren't entrepreneurs, if we didn't have the flexibility that we do, if our professional life did not allow us the time and also the resources, money, to support these activities. If we weren't available for her when she needs us, if we weren't able to go to all these therapies and swimming sessions, lessons, and all of this. And I'm gonna tell you something. Being an entrepreneur was my decision 5 years ago. And of course, I did not know that I'm gonna actually need entrepreneurship as much as, people will need me to share my things with them. So yeah, well, Sia taught me a lot of things, some of which I actually spoke about in here. She also taught me, or she also confirmed that entrepreneurship was the right decision for me back then, 5 years ago. And it still is today, of course. And it's been a true blessing for me. And I'm wondering if it would be a true blessing for you as well. And if you're wondering, you cannot know until you try it out. If you're an entrepreneur today, maybe that will be shown in a few years when you become a parent, that it's absolutely the right thing, that it was the right decision to make. Maybe you're a parent today and you're thinking, how could I free more time to be a more present parent, to be a more available parent? Well, try it out. And if you need any help, you know where to find me. And I wish you all the best. If you have a child with CP, believe in them, just like you believe in yourself and in your business. Believe that they will succeed. They need cheerleaders, and especially their parents need to be their biggest cheerleaders. Sia has us. Thank you very much. And maybe she has you as well. Let me know if any of these tips were surprising and helpful. And I'll see you soon again. Thanks for watching. I think it would be pretty cool if you subscribe. Also, my daughter Sia gets a tickle every time someone likes a video. So if you love babies, well, you know what to do.